What's going on YouTube? Today I'm going to be talking about why Hearthstone's Tavern Brawl is the greatest thing to ever be introduced into the game. Now for those of you that play Hearthstone, you've played Tavern Brawl. You know you have, I know you have. One thing that I've always found a flaw with Hearthstone, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, but one thing that I've always wished that there was ways to buy packs or get packs without there being the need to spend real money or farm gold at the rate of 1 quest plus 3 wins times 10 a day, which can take quite a while. Now, there are dedicated hardcore players that have the time and the want and the will to do just that, but I unfortunately am not one of those people. I'm more one of those casual players that wants to log in once a day, do my quest, and then be done with it, which then I get a pack approximately once every 3 days, sometimes if there's a 60 coin quest once every 2 days. But that aside, Tavern Brawl is a brand new way to get one extra quest, or one extra pack rather, a week. Now, within that extra pack, it's just a normal classic pack. It's not goblins and whatever machines or things, but what you get is another way to bring another aspect into the game to get your quests completed. So for those people that have a quest that is, say, win 2 games with Warrior or Rogue, you can take Tavern Brawl. Sometimes they're pre-made decks, sometimes you have to build your own decks. The instance that you are watching is after a minion dies, it resummons a monster or minion with 2 less cost to it. So if a 2-cost minion were to die, it would summon a random 0-cost minion, and so on and so forth. So what this gives you is a new way to play this grand, wonderful game. Grand Tournament is coming out. I almost just spilled the beans on that. And it's a way to increase your chances in getting packs. It's a way to learn more about the mechanics of the game. It's a great way to get practice without killing your ranking system. So if you have a deck like I did last season, I had a Hunter deck that went on an 11-match win streak, and I had a really good, solid winning streak there, and I wanted to build up a little bit more enchanting dust without having to necessarily go through and risk my rank. And I'm not going to go through and play casual games all day against people that really shouldn't be in casual anyway, and I don't think I should be, and it is an option, but I wanted to get some other gameplay elements. I like practicing with the deck, sure, but I knew that there were some glaring issues with the deck that I wanted to solve, and I knew what I needed to solve them. So this was another outlet to do just that. It's a way that you can play the game with a casual respect, get a pack a week, play it as many times as you want, win as many games as you want, get your quests done in a new form, and just have a ton of fun with this. I cannot tell you how much fun this is for me to do, and I play it more than I play any other mode, to be honest with you. I think it's a brand new way. Everybody's in it. The best part about it is there's no way that you're gonna get gypped out. There are definitely times where you get to build your own deck that you will be against people that have way more legendaries than you, and that does make sense, and I perfectly get that, and that is perfectly fine with me. But at the same time, there's also many weeks where the decks are pre-made for you, so it is basically a mano-a-mano with respectively built decks that you can use against each other to learn the game better, to learn mechanics better, to maybe you have a couple cards in the deck that's pre-made that you suddenly are like, wow, I really liked how that worked for me, let me implement this in a deck. I am one of those people that is not necessarily all for the meta of the game. I like finding things that don't necessarily become cookie cutter. I like going across the board and finding different things that work, and I'm not going for rank 1s. I'm not good enough to be a rank 1. I'll be the first one to admit it. But I can push the single-digit ranks with just a deck that I made that I found some fun elements, and I brought them into one deck cohesively, and I learned a lot of this stuff by playing modes like Tavern Brawl and playing extra games with decks that are pre-made for me or decks that I made myself within a certain parameter. You learn a lot about the game by doing stuff like this, and I think it's a great new way that Blizzard has implemented the way that more casual players that aren't necessarily pushing rank 1s can get that extra feeling from the game of accomplishment. Now, not everybody's going to be in the Hearthstone Grand Brawl tournament. Not everybody's going to be live streaming Hearthstone at Rank Master 5S or whatever it is. I've never been that high, so I don't really know. But for those people that don't really want to risk that extra whatever and want to just have fun playing a casual game that isn't necessarily... I almost think of it as a totally different game because when weeks where, I mean, technically every week, but more so on weeks where the decks are pre-made for you, it's a different game every time, and it's not just find a deck that works, build it out, go on Hearthhead, find a deck that works with you, find a deck that you have the cards for, more or less, build it out, play it, find what works for you, find what's not working, find if it's right for the current meta, this, that, and the other thing, and rinse and repeat. This is a way where you can just straight up get into some action, have some fun, play it differently. It's a way that you can play the game differently, not necessarily go through the beaten path and play the ranked mode and just have people that are basically just meta based and just going through and you know, buying a bunch of packs to get the legendaries and the dust that they need to refill their decks, which is going to be the best meta deck that there is, which I don't personally like going against, because it's not fun for me to be against a deck at rank, you know, 22 when it's the first rank of the season and the guy's got like 7 legendaries right off the bat and he just crushes me. And I get that that's part of the game, and I you know, it doesn't bother me to all the regard that I'm kind of hyping it up to be, but I just like Tavern Brawl because it feels more like a level playing field, and you do get rewarded a straight up pack from it. I also feel arena keys need to give more, but that's a whole topic that if you are interested in, I can get to at a different date. So thank you so much for being a viewer of this video. If you've made it this far without skipping around, I thank you for it, and I wish you the best of luck in your Tavern Brawl extravaganzas. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of Tavern Brawl. Let me know some ideas of Tavern Brawl that you would like to see Blizzard implement. Let me know what you feel about the Grand Tournament, or if you're watching this at a very later date, any other things. Sure, it was a concede, but I won nonetheless. Have a great day, everybody. See you next time.